armor here in Orderon, and now I find myself here in Heartglen, a scant few miles from home. Time to pay my respects. I headed to Menderstead before I returned home. Wouldn't mind meeting up with you again once I get there. I'm headed to Menderstead once before I return home. Wouldn't mind meeting up with you again once I get there.
Have a good one.
Greetings, how do you do? My name is Daria. I'm one of the priests in charge of preserving the peace here in Heartglen. One of my duties involves maintaining the tower down the trail to the southeast of Heartglen. This tower in particular is of personal importance to the High Lord. It's the place where his son was killed. However, with the recent incursion of gnolls, the maintenance of the tower has grown difficult. Will you help me rid the trail of some of these gnoll vandals so I can do my duty? Oh, I forgot. I didn't remember he had a son at all. I do remember there was a knight who joins the Argent Dawn. He might have been Tyrion himself. Don't think so. You find the paladin in Northrend. Actually, he's called a Dredge. Oh, that's a friendly name. But there's a story of he was an Alliance paladin, and he finds an orc in a tower. This is during like the Second War. So the orc is, well, I think it's Second War. The orc's pretty hostile, basically. It's not, now where it's orc, night elf, and dwarf, human, Draenei are all getting along. It's buddy. It's that's the kid's name, Talon. But they're at war. So the human and the orc start fighting, and the tower was pretty damaged. So their fighting ends up bringing it down. The human gets knocked out, but the orc, having a sense of honor, rescues him. And as the human's coming to, he sees the orc getting captured by Alliance forces. Or something. Basically, the orc gets captured, he knows who captured him, but they didn't, the humans there didn't help him in the slightest. So the guy breaks into Stratholme and frees the orc. He's committed, because he's a debt of honor to the man, and he's shown himself to be not just some savage beast. So he breaks in and frees him, and they've presumably been friends since. But of course, he has committed, treason basically. So he couldn't exactly go home. Can't remember who it was, but yeah, you can look that up yourself. If memory serves, the orc can be found here in Zul'Drak. I do believe he's actually here. Maybe he isn't there. Maybe he's somewhere else. Swore he was here in Zul'Drak. And the thing is, it's been too long. I might just remember. Might just not have noticed his name there. So yeah, it may have been there, but I just didn't recognize it. So it's a possibility. Yes, Lieutenant Mayor asked me to challenge you to a duel.
Be careful.
The time of the crusade. Time for the crusade is now. Okay, what is it? I'm a little busy here. Duel. Fine. You want some of this? I want more of this. Now this is more like it. Well fought. Well fought. Heal. Malmon's right. I'll never make it in the Argent Crusade. And random commander just walking right through the fights. Let's just sit down and have a... Oh shit, I just got rid of all the food. Bobbing apple. I don't want to have that stuff because you can only get it for the quest, and I'm annoyingly sentimental about that stuff. Also, it's kind of weird seeing them in all that, high-level gear and using such shit shields and swords. It's just that looks like vendor trash.
Hey there. Safe travels.
Challenge you to a duel? Fine, but I won't hold back. Fine with me. Okay. You're down, and finish him. You know, a lot of moms are telling these people they won't make it into the crusade. You know, ye of little fate. I'm just looking over my paperwork here, and it says that we're expecting a female Worgen Rogue. You're not. Lieutenant Minor looks at you awkwardly. Never mind. It would appear that you are not the person that I originally hired, but you did a good job, so I'm going to pay you anyhow. I think I read that right, but either way. Basically, they're expecting someone else, but we got paid regardless. Say, I've never caught your name. Kulgoroth. Pleased to meet you, Kulgoroth. I've got one more problem that needs fixing, and you have a look about you that just screams, I'm a problem fixer. There's a small mine on the northern edge of Parkland, where we get most of the ore that the town needs. My dredges who work at I'm normally do a decent job. Unfortunately, it seems that larger than average spiders taking up residence within the cave. Think you can clear things up for me? I'm not paying them to be afraid of spiders. I'm paying them to work. And they can't work if a giant spider's eating them. So, idiot. You know, it's kind of logical, you know? Shadro, gotta give it to them. Some of them are actually going to beat the shit out of you with pickaxes. Dwarf Fortress has told me anything. That is a very effective move. I haven't played much Dwarf Fortress. I've just heard pickaxes are actually meant to be a pretty good weapon. Or at least starting off. They're actually pretty effective. Cool. They've actually, at least that one. No, sorry, he was just a patroller. I thought it was one of these guys actually acknowledged it was dead and just walked off. Drudges sigh. But yeah, apparently pickaxes were actually rather effective. They're saying starting off your like first militia will be full of them or something. At least or that's how this one person did it. Well, they would have like you know, don't go in there, yells Dredge. As I leave. What am I trying to say? Yeah, basically. Fuck, I'm losing train of my thought. Yeah, basically, pickaxes were quite effective, especially early on when you don't have a proper army set up, proper forces. Maybe they still stay useful later on. I'm not sure. Some people were talking about them, they were making them sound quite effective, even later on in the game. But I find the game a little impenetrable, so I've not really made much progress with it. Tried it a few times, but that was it. Nice work. In retrospect, I'm glad that the other Worgen Rogue never showed up. You've proven to be all the help I need.
See you around.
Who are you? Bree Ironstock. Hello there, Rogue. Now that's more like it. Cool shield. So, we head down here. We can get some more quests. Sorry, I'm tired. But we're actually making pretty good progress, really. Not long after starting in this zone, and we're mostly done. I could approve of that. Somewhere here I'll get a quest. I do believe it's actually in this tower. So we'll make our way over there. Oh, Christ, they've already killed the shoe bearers here. There we go. You know, the quest might be at the top of the tower, or we might get it once we kill 10 looters. Since I haven't done these quests, I don't know.
I can't carry anymore.
Okay, another one down.
That bag is full.
I'm getting inventory issues now, though.
I can't stand that. Inventory is full.
Thankfully, I'm only losing out on some sweet nectars, but it's still a nuisance.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh no, and a wild hog shank. Come on. Come on. Oh, there we go.
That bag is full.
I must admit, Kulgoroth.
I don't have a target.
There we go. I must admit, Kulgoroth. I must admit, Kulgoroth. I've been using my mind vision spell to keep tabs on you. I must say, the number of gnolls you found on that trail is truly staggering. Sorry, I hope you don't mind if I use mind vision on you. Allow me to concentrate for a moment. You feel Darius' mind vision travel elsewhere, then returns to you. Further down the trail, south of Talon's Tower, the gnolls have carved out a small meeting area to the eastern main road. There's something happening there. Not certain what. We should investigate. I'll look for anything out of the ordinary. You just protect yourself. Gnolls can be such a headache. No need to cloak here. Well, stealth here. Turns out the gnolls are working with the unusual behavior even for gnolls. Turns out they're working with the Scarlet Crusade. Plot twist. Pfft. No wonder there's a gnoll problem. Those, those guys don't even notice. Red Pine Necromancer. I have to kill a Mold Fang up here. Who's a ghost? Yeah, he's undead. Oh, cool. Ambush. Mold Fang strong. Mold Fang dead. Now I could escape, but I'm killing you. Shits and giggles.
I need a target.
Nah. Nice. Also, some ground AoE. Didn't catch what it was, but doesn't matter. Gnolls and necromancy. What a surprise! And I thought here, I thought here in the Western Polygons, we put those dark days behind us. Since Darius' eyes focusing on something on the ground. Wait, what is that? Did you see that? That bottle, those supplies on the ground. See those reagents over there, and these supplies right here. Those belong to the Argent Crusade. Those are known for thievery, but as far as I know, Heartgun hasn't had any incursions since the Red Pine came. Very suspicious. I know a few helpful folks within Heartgun. Morris Fant, Outfitter Mendivola, Bree Ironstock, and Clark Alphas. All can be trusted and are well connected. Question them to find out if they know anything about these lost supplies. You'll want to head back to town to gather information. And mount up. No need to fight any more gnolls than we need to. Also, remember what I was saying about the, it's not necessarily a pothole, like the, what the mage said in the other place. In the Eversong Forest, about the blight being uncurable, and them here curing it. It's possibly is a well, I've given good reason for why they were wrong, but it's always possible that the devs just kind of forgot about it, and slipped up. They have done it on one other occasion. They forgot one NPC was alive, or they thought he was dead when he was actually alive or something. Some more not pointed it, and I mean that in all due respect. One of them pointed it out during a BlizzCon. This was pre-Cata BlizzCon, and as such they threw in a little nod to him in the Ironforge throne room. There's a fact checker NPC right next to the Council of Three Hammers. Hello, ma'am. Heard any interesting rumors lately? Well, let's see. I heard that Magnus Bisp has been spending his time cooped up on top of his tower, working on some new spell or something. I heard that Dal Goran was planning on retiring and heading back to his farm. He may have left already, in fact. Oh, and I heard there was some Morgan rogue running around town asking people all sorts of annoying questions. Just playing with you, love. Hope that information helped. I'm not entirely sure if it was just playing with me. There's another recruit. This place seems to be mostly recruits.
Can I help you?
May the light watch over you, child. Now, how may I help you this fine day? It's kind of strange the cleric's just chilling in the town hall, but sure. I'm looking for someone who may have stolen some supplies from Harkline. Have any leads? Stolen supplies, let me think about it. I know a certain priest named Daria who took all the extra wine after last... I know a certain priest named Daria who took all the extra wine after last week's service, but didn't throw it out as I asked. I believe she'll be apologizing soon, though. Alphys winks at you. I've also heard a normal number of confessions this week, but one of the mages. What's his name? Crisp? Wisp? Something along those lines? No, be on your way.
Daylight's burning.
Friendly. Doesn't seem any of those books are readable. Seems like someone with an obsessive compulsive disorder was just stacking all those books so they looked all the tables looked identical. Let me just see that. Imagine actually trying to run around in battle carrying that, you know, a huge thing like that. I don't know if it's actually an efficient combat weapon. Okay, can't actually duel with them anymore, which kind of makes sense. Okay, here's the outfitter, and there's the other guy I need to talk to.
Light be with you.
Have you noticed anything strange lately? Any new customers buying anything suspicious? What is this, an interrogation? You're not one of Fordring's internal affair guys, are you? Well, I've nothing to hide. Let me look over my records. Last week I sold a ball gown to Lieutenant Meyer, which struck me as odd. What else? Magus Bisp bought several dozen leather jerkins, which he couldn't give a reason for. And Friar Burlingham came by to stock up on his swimwear for his trip to Hardwrench Hideaway. It's me. Now, that's about it. Now, if you don't mind, I have customers. Really? Apparently, he services the afterlife.
I supply only the finest goods.
Any new customers in your blacksmith shop? Let's see. I saw some dredges running away from that mine over there. Said something about a spider. New customers? Oh, there's Gerald Lee, the lovely young gnome who bought an axe twice her size last week. Oh, and Magus Bisp came by asking for armor. Not sure why he needed plate armor.
See you later.
Bisp is her man. Did you notice, Kulgoroth? Many names were mentioned, but one name was mentioned far more than the others. Bisp. Magnus Bisp. Ooh, I just got to friendly with the Crusade. Nice. Magnus Bisp is one of Harkon's most preeminent arcanists. Arcanists. To imagine that he will be dabbling with gnolls and interacting with gnolls and dabbling in necromancy, unthinkable. You'll find him atop the tower near Harkon's main gate. Hopefully you'll have an explanation for all this. If not, well, we'll go top that tower unprepared, Kulgoroth. Hopefully we can avoid combat with Bisp. He's quite skilled. She says we. It doesn't really matter if I, don't get too exalted here with the Crusade now. How do I phrase it? They have a major presence in Northrend, so I could easily get to exalted then if I wanted. Stop on a tabard, run a few dungeons, problem solved. Do a few dailies. Oh, what are you doing up here, Worgen? Can't you see you're interfering with official Argent Crusade business? I was just wondering what you knew about the gnolls to the south. Someone's giving them supplies to practice necromancy. You'll pay with your life for interfering with my plans, you miserable scum. He was quite skilled, you say? Bagging Bisp. Yeah. He won't be going... wrong one. You won't be going anywhere. I suppose we'll take that as an admission... that we'll take his aggression as an admission of guilt. You alright, Kulgoroth? Bisp, gnolls, and necromancy. Oh my. Turning yourself in. Christ. I got a fucking